You just heard a demo of the Deluxe 55 from Origin Effects. My name is Michael Westbrook. As always, thank you for checking out this video. I think one cool thing about this pedal is that there are a lot of different ways to use it. In this video, we're going to check out some of those different ways and hear how you can bring that classic Tweed sound and feel to any rig. All right, let's get into it. So you just heard the Deluxe 55 set up as a direct amp. So I'm running into the Deluxe 55 and then into a Strymon Iridium with the amp part turned off. It's just acting as a cab sim or an IR loader. Now I will say here, something to know about if you don't, the IR that I'm using is actually from Origin Effects. They released a free IR pack recently. And I have to say, these IRs sound really, really good. Probably not supposed to say that as someone who sells IRs, but these free IRs from Origin really cover a lot of ground and sound really, really great. You've heard those IRs on the full band demo earlier, and then I'll be using them for the rest of this video. I think I'm using the 112 Tweed Deluxe IR. They come in, there's 3 blends, dark, medium, and bright, and then they have a few mics. But the thing I like about that IR pack is that it's not full of tons and tons of options. It's kind of a limited, less is more approach. And I find that super helpful for just getting tones quickly and get to playing. Now, I will say using this as an amp sim is really great because not only do you get anywhere from clean to that full-on blown out Tweed overdrive, almost fuzz type sound, but it all feels really great. They did a really good job of capturing kind of the sag, the compression that Tweed Deluxes have, especially as you start turning up that gain. You start getting this kind of you know, just the low end kind of starts sagging and feeling really squishy, and they really captured that in this pedal. We're going to hear some clips now. I'm going to play a little bit, and I'll start kind of with cleaner sounds, and then I will move my way up. At some point, I will swap from the 12AY7 to the 12AX7. You'll notice more gain with the 12AX7 side, as well as just a slight bump in the brightness. Another way you can use the Deluxe 55 is almost like a fuzz pedal. I find this to be true with a number of pedals that are simulating old vintage amplifiers. When you turn the gain up, they get really compressed, really aggressive, almost this spitty kind of fuzz type tone. The Deluxe 55 does this. I've got the setting on the 12AX7 side, and I've got the gain cranked. Now I have it run into a Tweed Bassman copy that's set on the edge of breakup. When running the Deluxe 55 into another amp, you not only have the ability to add the saturation and drive and some of that compression, but you also have the ability to change the EQ footprint. You've got different modes as well as the tone knob, and it can really, in my opinion, enhance an amp, especially maybe if your clean tone isn't exactly what you want it to be or it doesn't quite feel great. Maybe you're not able to turn the amp up as loud as you would like to. I feel like this pedal can really enhance that bass tone and really add some good feel and just that little bit of grit and drive. Again, I'm plugged into a Tweed Bassman copy. This time I do have it turned down a little bit so it's a little cleaner, and you'll hear how the Deluxe 55 is kind of helping it, just making it feel and sound better. Now, obviously, we can use it set clean to kind of EQ and enhance our tone, but we can also start adding this drive. And this is probably some of my favorite sounds from this pedal. I just love the edge of breakup, and when it starts to get into that overdrive territory, again, the feel and just the overall sound of that. It's almost like I've got a second channel on this Tweed Bassman. Overall, I think this thing has a lot of great sounds in it, and it is super flexible because of all the variety of ways that you can use it. I think the tones are really on point and work well no matter what kind of setting you're using it in, whether it's direct or into an amp. Origin Effects goes so far to call this a Tweed recreation pedal, and I think that name serves it well. Obviously, it's going to bring that Tweed sound and vibe to whatever rig that you plug it into. That's going to do it for this video. There will be links down below for more info on the Deluxe 55 as well as to those free Origin Effects IRs. If you use IRs, you should definitely go pick them up. I mean, they're free and they sound incredible. You can't lose. All right, until next time, I'll see you out there.